1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
4.
Okay, so anyways. My name's Kyle. Welcome back to Red Tie Optional. Today I have Milo doing another psychology test. Why? Because I like doing these tests. And I found my ladder. So I will be flipping with that. No, it's my ladder.
I just want to look at it. Okay.
Anyways, so
I don't know what this test is.
he has no idea what this test is, but it's one that I think is going to be really interesting for him. So, it's going to be the questions you answer.
Okay.
You're seated at your desk, busy with an important task. When your instant messenger icon begins to blink, signaling that you have received a message from your friend. You immediately stop everything you are doing in order to check the message, write a detailed response in return, check the message, but then get right back to work, make a mental notes to check the message during your lunch break, and ignore it until then. Instant Messenger, only programs necessary for work are installed on my computer. I wouldn't notice the blinking anyways.
I'd say 2. Check it and then get back to work.
How would you describe your demeanor at work? Fidgety. I'm up and down from my seat all day. I try to be professional, but I am often distracted by what is going on around me. It depends on the time of day. In the morning, I'm very efficient, but by 4:45, I notice that it is hard to get things done because the end of the day is approaching. There's no stopping me. I've broken productivity records and have been known to skip lunch in order to keep working.
Is there a none of the above option? I'd say I guess I'd have to say fidgety. Because in an office, I definitely would be fidgety.
I try to be professional, but I am often distracted. That's not you?
No.
What does your desk/workspace look like on an average day? So I'm assuming this one has to do with like you're doing a desk job. Obviously, that's not your case.
I would go Walmart.
Yep. It looks like a tornado just rolled through no matter how much I try. So, you know what? This is your workspace.
Okay.
That makes more sense to me. It looks like a tornado just rolled through no matter how much I try. I just can't get organized. It is always messy and it takes hours to organize all my papers and supplies. It is somewhat messy, but if I have a meeting, I can tidy it up nicely within minutes. When I get caught up in the project, it can get a little bit disorderly, but the rest of the time it's very neat. There is not a pen, paper, or paperclip out of place.
I'd say somewhat messy, but I can clean it up pretty quickly. Yeah.
My whole forgetting stuff is affecting my speech today.
You didn't really warn me about this, or else my desk would probably be cleaner.
You are at an important meeting which has run severely over time. You are growing increasingly bored, restless, and uncomfortable as the meeting drags on, and it's obvious to those around you. You're eagerly awaiting the end of the meeting and having some trouble following what is going on. You are cautious of the time, but have little trouble concentrating on the matter at hand. You are enjoying every minute of it and having no trouble concentrating. Dinner can wait.
Dinner can never wait. Hello. Eagerly waiting, having trouble focusing.
Yeah.
Especially if it's class.
It's 4:30 on a Friday afternoon. For months, you have been looking forward to a visit from a good friend who is. This is where my dyslexia kicks in.
Bro, you're acting like it's 4:30 on Friday afternoon.
It's 4:30 on a Friday afternoon. For months, you have been looking forward to a visit from a good friend who lives across the country. She/he is coming in at 5:45. All you have to do is get through the end of the day. The trouble is that you have an important memo to send out before you leave. How do you deal with the situation? Fuck. I don't understand. I don't. Instead of getting the work done, I find myself making a list of the places that I want to take my friend. I guess it will have to wait until Monday. I write as little as possible, as quickly as possible, while I daydream about where I'll take my friend. At least the memo is done. I dawdle a little bit and I'm slightly distracted, but in the end I get my work done on time. I put my friend's visit out of my mind completely and finish the task at hand, so that I can leave 5 minutes early to pick up some flowers.
That bottom one doesn't count. I'm not going to answer that. I'd say probably dawdle a little bit and slightly distracted, because normally I would have had planned where we're going in the first place. Yeah. So I wouldn't be too distracted.
33% fun. I hate reading. I really do. Do you set goals for yourself that you can't seem to achieve? Yes, I can't get close to accomplishing even the simplest of goals. I just can't seem to get my act together. Yes, I set reasonable goals, but I almost always seem to sabotage myself just when I nearly succeed. Sometimes, but I achieve many of my goals I set for myself. No, I achieve most of the goals that I set for myself. No, I achieve practically all of the goals I set for myself.
I'd say the second one.
Sabotage yourself?
Yeah, sabotage myself before I do them.
When you were a child, did you often have trouble sustaining attention, following directions, and or finishing assignments? Did you often lose things, make careless mistakes, or get in trouble for not listening? Yes, all those statements applied to me as a child. Yes, a few of those statements applied to me as a child. No, I wasn't like that, although of course there were occasional situations where I had difficulty paying attention. No, I was the opposite of that actually.
What do I answer if I'm still like that?
Then yes.
Those applied to me as a child. I still get in trouble for not listening and stuff like that.
How true of you is the following statement? No matter what I do, I can't finish everything I want to get done on time. Completely true, very true, somewhat true, not at all true. Because the stupid of me is useless words that don't need to be in that sentence right there.
Somewhat true of me.
Do you feel that a lack of attention has a significant and negative impact on your life? Yes, it interferes with work, school, other duties on a daily basis. Yes, it often interferes with work, school, other duties. No, it bothers me occasionally, but I can force myself to do what I need to get done if I have to. No, I don't have any problems paying attention.
I want to say no, but yes, it interferes with school because I dropped out.
Which one? Top yes or bottom yes?
Bottom yes. Here's the thing, though. I know what this test is for now because of that question specifically.
What's this test for?
ADHD. I thought it was OCD at first.
Okay. If you feel that you do have a problem paying attention, how long have you had such difficulties? Just today, in fact. A month. 6 months. My whole life, I've always been like this. Not applicable. I don't have troubles paying attention.
My whole life. Because, like we said, the childhood thing.
Yeah.
Gotta back it up.
Are you easily diverted from important tasks by distractions around you? I.e., somebody's phone rings, the sound of a conversation from the hallway. Yes, no, sometimes.
While you're reading that question, I was all.
I'm gonna put yes.
And then I heard the question. I was like, I'm literally doing the thing it's asking. So you can see a face that I made. I was like, oops.
I'm just gonna put yes.
That's why I started doing it. I was like, whoops. I just answered the question.
It's great.
Wow.
If someone were to walk by your room / office when you were supposed to be doing work, what would they most likely see if they glanced in? I would be pacing the room. I work best when I'm moving. I would most likely be staring into space daydreaming. If they walked by when I didn't have any major deadlines looming, there's a pretty good chance that I would be pacing or daydreaming. There's a good chance that I would be working, but there's a small chance that I would be pacing or daydreaming. I would be working intensely.
Why is pacing part of 3 answers?
I don't know. I can kind of see it.
Oh, so they're talking like pacing isn't working.
Yes, pacing as in you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're pacing around the room trying to figure out stuff.
I feel like I work better when I'm moving, not best. I don't know about best. Like whenever I'm trying to brainstorm stuff for YouTube, I feel like I have to be like up and walking around to figure it out.
If I didn't have major deadlines, I feel like that's probably the one that best fits you. Because when you have major deadlines, you do tend to sit there and focus on them.
Until I drop out. Yeah, true, you're right. Except for I see pacing as like worrying about the problem and not working, but okay.
I feel like pacing is more or less you don't understand how to go about the problem.
Yeah.
Which you have done. How many of the following areas of your life are significantly affected by a lack of attention on your part? Work, school, home, relaxation time, relationships. All of the above, 2 or more of the above, 1 of the above, none of the above.
2 or more.
I was about to...
Not work, yes school, yes home, not relaxation time. Maybe relationships? That's a gray area for me.
Do you find yourself fading out or unable to concentrate when performing long, difficult, or boring tasks? Yes, all the time. Yes, often. Sometimes, rarely. I don't mention it at all.
I had a question, I forgot it. Like, the way I see it is like if you're doing the task for a long enough time and you're just doing it and think about other stuff, does that count? Because you're like an autopilot mode at that point.
I think that's a normal thing. I go to
Concentrate.
Autopilot at work.
Okay. You what?
I go to autopilot at work. So.
A long boring task, I feel like I can do those better. No, well, yeah, sometimes. Depends on the task, I guess.
Yeah, it really just depends what it is.
If it's reading, no thanks.
Okay, so these are always, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. That for these last ones. Your job involves paperwork that must be handed to your supervisor each Friday. How often do you notice careless errors when it is too late to fix them? Forget that first part. How often do you notice careless errors when it is too late to fix them? That sounds... The other part was just a scenario, I think.
Yeah. I feel like this is a normal answer for everybody. I'd say often. Because if it's like too late to fix something, you're like rushing, right? I don't know. There was one time I stayed up till 8 a.m. to finish a paper. And I worked at 10. So I didn't sleep for 35 hours. I got the paper turned in. I got a B. It's great.
When you're having a conversation with coworkers, friends, or family, do they get annoyed with you because you bounce between conversational subjects and or don't appear to be listening?
What do you think? That's a question for you.
That's not a question for me.
Well, I'm asking you. Do I bounce around between subjects a lot?
That's the entire group, dude. That is all of us.
I mean, what did you say this morning? You said I have 3 sentences going.
Yeah.
I would say often. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with often. So I texted this guy at like 6 a.m. He didn't answer because he was asleep. He did answer, but then he went back to sleep. And then I texted him again trying to figure out the plans to go to IHOP. And he had 3 different whole sentences in one sentence. Just like, what the fuck are you saying?
I thought it made sense.
It did not.
Okay. So often or sometimes?
I put often. No, yeah, sometimes.
Because you guys don't get angry about it.
Yeah, we don't get angry because we all do it. Do you notice that you have difficulty following directions, i.e., in a cookbook, map, or an assignment, because of minor distractions around you?
If it's written out for me, no. I'd say rarely.
So if your phone goes off, it doesn't distract you? I'd say that's a minor
Well, yeah,
distraction.
it'll distract me, but I don't have difficulty following those directions.
No.
Like, I still understand them.
It's rarely.
Especially, like, for, like, cookbooks and stuff, I could be, like, on YouTube and I'll, like, look back at the cookbook and I'll still do it.
You are reading a new book that seems really good. Do you have trouble reading it straight through? You skip around, go to the end first, or never finish?
I don't.
Can you read books? Like a storybook?
Oh, okay. I thought the skip around, go to the end first, never finish was options. I was like, I thought this was
Sorry,
always
no.
often. Yeah. Sometimes. It has to be a real easy read. Like Hungarians.
You have just started a new project that you are very excited about. Do you have difficulty following through and getting it done because you get distracted and or pick up another project?
What's the next question? What did you choose?
I said always.
Do often. Do often.
Okay. Do you leave piles and piles of stuff, bills, important papers, magazines, those are the things, around your house, but never know where anything is when you really need it?
No. I'd say either.
Rarely or never?
It can't be never, so I'd do rarely, yeah.
Score my test. So this is ADHD, Attention Deficit Disorder Test. I thought this one would be interesting. Okay. Not become parent child image.
Ability is a 34 out of 100.
Overall ability to pay attention.
That's an F.
Wait, so that's bad. Yeah, you suck.
It's like a bed, but they put it in green. Bruh.
I'm not gonna read all this. If you would like to pause the video, you can.
I'm gonna pause. What's the
Anyways, if you guys would like to pause it and look at all this, I'm not going to, so I'm just gonna stay on the screens for a little bit.
$34, huh?
Yeah.
To be fair, it is 11:45 in the morning.
I'm not gonna stop at these. Anyways, so yeah, you don't pay attention very well.
A lot of times when I was looking over the computer, it's because I couldn't focus on what you were saying. I had to read. I had to read it and make sure I understood it.
Yeah, bad listening skills then. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of this video, and he's leaning the camera away. Anyways. If you like it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you didn't, please give my future videos a chance. They can only get better. Maybe.
That's not
Hopefully.
true. But hopefully.
Bye.
Doesn't come off as easily as I thought it would.